I want to talk about Kemi Badenoch. Kemi is the conservative leader, and I have the full podcast here because a lot of people are giving her heat, insult, Nigerians. So we want to talk about it. What did she say? And is she right to say what she said? Please pay attention even as I play it from here. Again, I am not showing the video because of copyright, but you will hear it and then I will stop. And anybody who wants to come live can join us live and we can discuss about it as well. What did Kemi say that Nigerians are dragging her? I am very proud of her. But listen, guys.
Welcome to Honestly.
Thank you.
National suicide wish. Where did the conservatives go so wrong? And can the woman I'm sitting across from today turn her party and ultimately the country around? How will she offer something different than the past 5 Tory leaders who served before her? And can she beat out not just the Labour left, but also the growing threat from a very energized hard right?
What do you think a mental declutter could do for you? Here's what we do. We keep our mental...
I'm basically watching from the YouTube, so you might hear once in a while advert will come up, but I'll try to skip it as soon as possible. Let's go.
Kemi Badenoch, welcome to Honestly.
Thank you, Barry. It's lovely to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. Well, I want to start out at the beginning of your life for those who have not yet encountered you as I have. So you were born in the UK, but then your family moved back to Lagos, Nigeria when you were very young, and you were raised there for the first 16 years of your life. Now, in those years, Nigeria had a series of military coups. Inflation reached 40%. Life expectancy was around 46 years old. And by the end of the decade, 43% of Nigerians lived below the poverty line. Tell us about your childhood growing up in Nigeria and how this political and economic context shaped your character and shaped your politics.
So it certainly shaped my character, but my family shaped my character a lot more. I was born into a relatively wealthy family, and I was born in January 1980. This is just as the oil boom is taking off in the country in the 70s. Everybody's got lots.
In January 1980, she's a young lady. Think about the people that are in our leadership position right now. Think about the APC chairman, PDP chairman. She was born in 1980. 1980. Pick that and leave it on one side. Let's go.
Money, and my family is doing well, partly because of that. And
but they're not in oil. Your dad is
no, but he was a doctor who had lots of oil company patients,
okay.
And he worked for them to some extent as well. They would send their patients to him, so he didn't work for the companies, but he treated them and got paid very well. And my grandmother, who grew up never learning how to read or write, was poor. She made a lot of money from trading. So she was my, initial inspiration. This woman who could never read or write, but she made so much money. She sent some of her children to the US to study, paid all the fees. Not my dad, but others. And they're still here. I still have, family here because of what she did back in the 60s. But what really shaped me was watching the decline of the family wealth because of terrible economic policies that the country was having. And I tell people that it was socialism, and they say, oh, it wasn't socialism, it was just a military dictatorship. And this is one of the things which I referenced in the speech that I gave in Washington a couple of days ago, that people keep saying, oh, it's not socialism because it doesn't call itself that, but it is. It was the government owning everything, deciding which businesses would run and which ones wouldn't run by decree. It was, the government choosing which school you would go to. For secondary school, I wasn't able to pick the school. The government decided you will go to this school. And sometimes they send people thousands of miles away. And one day, for example, the water just stopped running. And it was just a state-run water company, just couldn't cope. And we ended up having to dig a borehole and get our own water. But for a long period, I had to go out fetch water. So I tell people that I know what it is like to be wealthy and also to not have any money to be poor. By the time I moved to the UK in 1996, there was virtually nothing left. Hyperinflation, And so on, my dad gave me the equivalent of what was his last £100 and said, good luck, because I really wanted to come back to the UK and I had a British passport. So all of those experiences have shaped my view of the world, that even if you're wealthy, things can disappear. And you have to work very hard to maintain not just your family, but also your country. Otherwise, it'll degrade. Things aren't always going to be the way they are. You've got to make sure that you culture and cultivate what is good about your society, or you will lose it.
Margaret Thatcher, the 80s, of course. Margaret Thatcher is running the UK at that time. What did your family think of her, and what were the politics like of your family growing up?
My family was not very political.
So the reason why I brought this topic out today is because sometimes those of us that live abroad, we can see better. We see better. This lady have actually fought for herself. No godfather. As you know, UK, you hardly have a godfather. She have to stand for herself. A lot of Nigerians have not watched this interview. All they saw is Kemi Badenoch said Nigeria is like a shithole. And they were getting angry. People were like, oh, you are not patriotic. You can dump Nigeria. The vice president make a comment about it. And I'm so disappointed with a lot of people that I look up to, because I saw a tweet from Aisha Yusuf today, and Aisha Yusuf was basically insulting this woman. Then I also saw a tweet from Rufai. When I saw that tweet from Rufai, I had to go on Aisha Yusuf on Twitter. I have to go on Twitter and ask Aisha Yusuf if she's now working under Reno Omokore's department. Because I did not see what this lady said that we don't already know. She talked about she's not identifying with the northern part of Nigeria because she rather more identify as a Yoruba than as a Nigerian. And then she lists a lot of other stuff out, like the Boko Haram, the terrorism, the cultural, the fundamental cultural difference between those of us in the western part of Nigeria and the northern part of Nigeria. A lot of people pretend about it, but we all know that there is no connectivity between this entity called Nigeria. When you talk about the Igbos, you talk about the Yorubas, you talk about the Hausas. Then we have other majorities and tribal group in Nigeria. The Egbira, the Igala, the TVs, the Urobos, the Bini, and so many other tribes. Then we have these three tribes in Nigeria that is called Wazobia, which is already a defeated language on its own. Disadvantage for other millions of other ethnic groups that may never have a chance to lead the country. My son will have more chance to be a prime minister of the UK than a president of Nigeria, because I happen not to come from the majority of the tribe. I'm not Yoruba, I'm not Igbo, and I'm not Hausa. And the changing is this, the narrative is this, that these three tribes are the owner of Nigeria. Neither you go to Hausa, or you go to Yoruba, or you go to Igbo. So my son will be more suitable to be a president of the United States than a president of Nigeria. Now, she went deeper and talked about a lot of stuff like that. I'm going to play it because I've just received a bit of a strike now because of copyright, but I'm going to skip it a little bit so that we can basically, I know a lot of you guys have watched the interview. I don't know if you watch it to the fullest already, but I have watched the interview and I'm also seeing the interview right now, and we need to talk about it. Because sometimes when you look at Nigeria, the people you are worshiping today, thinking they are your freedom fighter, are opportunists. I don't see why Aisha Yusuf will see a problem with what Kemi said on the stage. I don't see. In a Yoruba land, if I talked about Jesus, or for example, I talk about Muhammad, nobody will lynch me to death. Okay, let's just be honest. If I go to Igbo land and I say Jesus is this, nobody will carry tire and put it on my head and burn me. If I go to North and I mistakenly say something about Muhammad, I'll be burnt alive on the street of the northern part of Nigeria, and the people will clap for it. So if a Yoruba man is now saying, I don't have cultural identity with these people, I have cultural identity with Yorubas. So I rather see myself as a Yoruba person than as Nigeria. Because if we are honest with ourselves, we are not Nigeria. About 2 days ago, Segun Shobowale came out on Arise TV last week, literally, and Segun listed the cabinet of Tinubu, and Segun said Tinubu has all of the highest position in the government reserved for Yoruba. And I basically say I agreed. That's what's happening. But that's what happened when Buhari was there. When Buhari was in the government, all of the highest position, from the chief of judge, chief of army, police chief, all of the top position were reserved for the northerners. So Buhari see himself as a northerner. So when Tinubu come, Tinubu also take the same step. What about Egira people? What about Igala people? So if we are really real Nigerians, if we are one Nigeria, if we want to see ourselves as a Nigerians, why do you have to reserve such position for your tribe? Why don't you distribute it according to the name Nigeria so that everybody can feel the identity of Nigeria? So that everybody can see the identity of Nigeria. This woman have said nothing wrong. She talked about the police brutality, what the police did to her brother. She was 16. She returned back to the UK on her own. And today, she's a conservative leader, one of the oldest party in the United Kingdom. She might not be prime minister, but the achievement need to be praised, need to be lifted. And the honesty in tackling what kept us where we are. Oftentimes we say the British are the one that held us behind. And we can see a political party or a leader of a political party that is telling Nigerians, wake up. If we are trying to hold you down, wake up and rise up. Because at the moment, we don't have a Nigeria. The Nigeria we have is in the hand of the people with the money. Good evening, guys. T, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Good. So I hope you would appreciate others to speak today.
Yes, I will. I just wanted to elaborate and then make sure that we have
that's
a
very
content
good.
of where we are starting from.
Yeah,
Before
one
we
of the
continue.
things, thank you so much. One of the things I notice about most people that own these channels and then you people talk and everything, I've been listening to you for some time.
Yes, sir.
Everybody in Nigeria's experience is completely very different.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that you always talk about is about democracy, but even some of the culture, the things we destroy. I mean, we criticize about our society in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we also don't have this. We also don't have this character and this tolerance that the people in democratic country also demonstrate.
Mm-hmm.
If the lady you're talking about has gone out and criticized Kemi, you understand? You don't. Well, you can be disappointed, which is your opinion, but that means she is also entitled to it. You understand? So the views you have about the country. So I will take it from one. Let's start from number one thing.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay. So there's a country called Nigeria, and for one reason or the other, we've lived together for about 60 years now or more. So that we're looking at almost 64 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no other alternative for us to do anything to set the country back, other than the fact that if we are all agreed that we say we don't want a country together, we disintegrate. But the other alternative for us is that maybe there is a war, and then we kill ourselves, and then until maybe one day everybody separates. But if the remit of Nigeria is today, and I don't know what you have, but you have a green passport, and that's the main thing that is there. Then what we need to do is how do we change the country now? Now, there's this thing about everybody in Nigeria that I see, which is very strange. Everything is wrong with Nigeria, leaders, government, and every other thing, but not you. But to be honest with you, take away government from Nigeria. Let's come back to even the UK, where some of us, overseas, where some of us live. Is it the government of Nigerians that tell Nigerians to get involved in fraud? Is it the government of Nigeria that gets people, that tell Nigerians to marry people and use them to get papers and everything that is there? So the problem of Nigeria is a complex thing, and it runs in everybody. You understand? There's a part you apportion to leadership. If you take, and this is one of the experiences we've seen, for those of us who have taken our money and gone to invest in Nigeria,
But
I don't even.
I know you have a. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. But there's something I wanted to talk about.
Let me finish. Don't worry. You talk. You've had the whole day talk. It's your show. So if you want us to have a debate, we should have a debate, and we can reach us.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So number one, so if I give you 20, 30 million naira today and you go to Nigeria and you want to do anything, and now these are experiences I've had. If my problem with government or the bureaucracy is less, the people that give me grief most are the people that I employ who want to steal from me every day. These are people, the same people that you've taken money to, and you say you want to come and help so that you can create jobs, you can create opportunities. One thing that is very, very certain about one thing that is very, very unique about us, and which is also very, very bad about us, we always forget one thing. Nobody will ever come and develop our country. It's only we that can do it. So it is not the amount of coming out, spewing, complaining, we have this problem, we have that problem, the leaders are bad and everything. It's not going to solve the problem. If everybody runs out of Nigeria, you leave the place open, and that's the same thing that's going to be there. So I just want to make you understand one thing, that our focal approach as a people, in that same country, you had people who put themselves spiritedly, like Gani Fawemi, who fought, and many other people that I can count from there who are either they fought for democracy, they were part of the thing that is there. If you, the way you have your microphone that you're putting on, you go to your village and you stand in the market area and start preaching to the people and telling them and say, oh, I've come here to save you, I have come from overseas, or I have this intellectual this, I have this intellectual that, and I can solve a problem, I want to stop corruption and every other thing. I can bet you one thing, they will not vote for you. So we have a deep-seated problems, and the approach about it for it requires that all of us, whether diaspora or everything at all, that is very concerned. We have to find a way to have a common understanding, to introspect and have innovation to restore our society back. Some of the people that you're even seeing that you're calling leaders today, I had a friend that maybe in 2007, we sat down together, he was so angry, he was hyperventing about the government and everything. Now he's been part of the government for the last maybe 7 years. He's not singing the same thing that he's singing again. So our problems are deeper than just trying to make it look like it's one people that is isolated or so about it. But I don't want to take more time because I know you want to say some things. But let's come back to Kemi.
Okay, let's come back to Kemi, most especially.
Let's come back to Kemi. I want to say something. You see, there are things that are very important in life. You understand? Number one, let's start with our own history as a person. You understand? They say, I am today who I am. It is because of those forefathers that I had. If I didn't have those forefathers who live in huts, who are maybe primitive people or so-called, I won't have today. So your origin is a very critical thing that is very important to you. Now, she said so many things which even many people that I see, commentators, even you said, I was born in the 70s, right? And I said, as at the time she was talking about in 1980 when she was born, I have very clear understanding of everything that was happening. And I lived through the political processes of Nigeria that was there. The father, she said something in that recording, she said her grandmother was illiterate, who was able to educate her family and tell them to get them to abroad to school. But what she did not say openly was that her father came to this country on the federal scholarship. So the only accident of thing that happened to her is that she was born here. And that right that she has, that made her to have a red passport, doesn't even exist for anybody who has a child in this country today. As far back as
it has been taken away.
Yeah, it's been taken away since 1986. So it was just a chance remark for her. And if she hadn't gone through that process, and she wanted to be an immigrant today. Maybe, okay, she came to school in 1987 or 2000 when she came here. And after a while, one thing or the 1996, maybe she stayed. And after a while, she stayed 10 years. And under the 10-year rule, she got her papers. That would have been a different thing, a different story she's singing today.
You
So all
think,
immigrants,
sorry, you think
yeah,
she's privileged with that passport?
yes, it's like, yeah, don't worry, I will come to you. Let me build the whole thing. I will just tell you. So that's number one. So our father had a scholarship that was from the federal government of Nigeria. You understand? And you have to also look at the history of the country. Those who gave us independence, it was not in their interest that our country should be settled, because they always had an eye on our oil, on every other thing that you can think of or that you wanted to have. And the government that she even denigrates, the Obasanjo's government came in 1960. I mean, Muritala's government came in 1960. They nationalized many things because at the end of the day, Nigerians were not in control of those things. Now she talks about socialism. I really want you as a person to look at what socialism, the definition of socialism was. Nigeria has never been a socialist country. There's nothing about ideology that was ever existing. And what she was saying as at 1980, all over the world, most of the central things that were common utilities were controlled by many governments. In this country, you had BT, there were only 5 television stations that were here, BBC. Up to today, we still pay this thing. So that was a system that was in place. So the Nigerian government only controlled things like common goods, and they only had one reason why they wanted to make it that way. As at the time of independence, some of these utilities we are talking about, they were very, very heavy capital intensive. Nobody had the money to actually say there was. Today that you can now see Dangote is trying to say he wants to buy a refinery and he wants building a refinery. No Nigerian had that capital capability. By 1960, you had very few graduates you can count.
I'm going to.
Yeah, hold on.
No.
Just calm down.
I want
just listen
because
to
there are other people.
I listen to you for almost. Yeah, I'm telling you because you
to yourself. Then
you talk about many things.
I want to bring other people in.
If it's about how you were speaking, you went to the north, you came to the south, you talk about Yoruba. So let me break that down so that we can talk. I might say things you don't like to hear, but I'm just trying to.
I do hope that you understand there are other people in the house that would like to have a say on this.
They will be there. I'm sure they're enjoying it. They're enjoying it. If anybody's against me talking, let me hear.
Hold on, sir. Hold on.
Yeah, I will soon finish everything I have to say. Just give me about 2 minutes. Just give me about 2 minutes. I'll round up for you.
I plead with you. Give me a chance. Let me tell you something. There's a word you used. You said, if we want to have a debate, okay, if we are having a debate, then each person have to have a chance to talk.
I didn't say nobody have a chance
to talk. Hold on, sir. Let me put a forum on. There has to be a time limit of how you can process, because there are things you are saying now. Somebody want to interject.
Yeah,
and
but
if I allow you to continue,
what will work very well for us.
Yes, sir.
Is for everybody to hear his opinion, and so that we can actually listen to the way. You didn't give me a time limit, but I don't think I've spoken too long.
I'll give you another 2 minutes so you can.
Okay, that's fine. That's
you're still going to deal with us anyway. You're not leaving.
So yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Let me use the 2 minutes now, so you can take your time, and I'll be very happy. There was no time Nigeria government ever practiced socialism. Things were ahead for the common goods of everybody that was in the country, and that was because relative to the situation that we were in at that period in time. They wanted equitable distribution of those things. There's BT, there's BBC. Most of the utilities in this country were later privatized, maybe in the late 80s and some of them in the 90s. That's number one point. The number two thing that is there. Let me tell you something. Nobody, she doesn't, you say about talking about, is Nigeria corrupt? Is there a problem in Nigeria? Is the Nigerian government doing well? Absolutely correct. But you see, what you have to look at is the intention of somebody that has to say something. You cannot sit down and every time you have to denigrate Nigeria in order to make your points. She's married to a white person. We can understand that. This country has had its own fair share. I can count many things that she said that are absolutely very wrong. Apart from socialism, they asked her the question of whether they should pay reparations to Africans. He said, oh no, the reparation is a scam, you know. And for God's sake, a generation of Africans were taken from their homes, even for many years, and their resources were expropriated and every other thing. Look at what happened to Israel and Holocaust. They still pay their reparations to today. That's a very legitimate thing. And you say you don't want woke culture, you don't want your children to be taught anything about African history or any other thing that is there. You cannot come, and there are like other people that have been in the country. You have Sunak, you have other ethnic minorities. None of them denigrates people. She can go about her business, talk about herself, what she's achieved to actually be in the British Parliament. It's not to take a swipe at Nigeria. If the federal government of Nigeria did not give her father scholarship to come to this country, or the policies that she stands to say that she wants to stop people from coming to this country, she will never be where she is. There must be respect and dignity. We know what our problems are. We know what our issues are. You understand? And we are not happy about them. But it doesn't mean it has to cast the country in bad light. There's always, every time you have you have something. I always say something about most Nigerians that complain about Nigeria. Are you telling me that it will never be solved, or are you telling me that you're praying and hoping that?
Thank you, my brother. Hold on there. I think a lot of people really, really appreciate what you're saying. I can read a comment from here, and I feel like they are all kind of wanted to hear what you're saying, and I believe they also want to contribute their own part.
Oh yeah, then free. I'm finished. But I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. But that's just the thing about it.
Ibisco, go on, please.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Can I
Sir.
speak?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm also a Nigerian in diaspora. I've lived outside the country for about 10 years.
Thank you,
10
sir.
years plus. Now, going back to what Kemi said, I think I'll divide it into what Kemi said and also our problems in Nigeria. For my own opinion, Kemi has an identity crisis. Is my opinion. You might not agree with it, but she has an identity crisis. Because number one, she's already against who she is as a person, as a black person. Let's go back to history, because this is one of our problems in Nigeria. We don't remember, we have never been taught history, so we don't even know where we come from, and we don't know where we are going. Number one is this: for you to be a conservative person politically, I'm not saying economically you can be, but politically, there's basic things you have to feel. You have to be able to be in that category, because it is a category, it is a social category. Number one is this: you have to have access to money.
It's a class.
It's a class. You have to have access to a lot of money. One. Two, you have to have access to the means of production. You cannot be a conservative without having those two things. Now, when you have those two things, for you to now protect those two things, you go into politics. That is what the conservatives are. So it is easy for an Elon Musk to say he's conservative because he has money. But for you that is poor, that your father is nothing, your father has nothing, your father does not own, I doubt if your father owns more than two buildings in England, you are not a conservative. You are not. That is one. She's only in that position because that party has destroyed that country to a particular point where they do not have any leaders, and the only person that they can turn to, or that is saying the things they want to hear, is her. That's the reason why she's there. And it is only for a short while, because I can assure you, at any mistake she makes, she becomes a Nigerian. It happened to Anthony Joshua. It happened to John Fashanu. It has happened to several other Nigerians. You cannot be part of this group because your skin color already
defines you.
It defines you. It defines you. It defines who you are. They already know who you are. So they can only tolerate you for a period. And that is the period that she's in right now. She's surfing the waves, and she's, yes, I'm speaking, people are listening to me. Yes, it's fine. But it's taking a swipe at Nigeria and telling us that we do not deserve reparation. My question is this: has she ever visited the British Museum to see the number of artworks that was stolen?
Do we think that it is on the British society to demand that, or do you think it's on our country?
No.
Nation
My brother,
to demand
Let me finish. It is the British need to pay for what they stole.
No, the British will never. Hold on. I want to stop here because it's an ideological issue we're talking about right now.
Okay.
If I own you money, or I have something to do with your dad, and I know I have the family debt on my head, I am not going to come to you and say, I want to pay it. In a fair world, that's what you expect. In an ideal world, that's what you expect. But in the world we live in, it takes you to ask me to pay you.
No, Example,
But
let me
they're
give you.
asking to pay.
Hold on. Let me just finish what I was saying. Let me try and finish what I was saying. I was making a point.
Go ahead.
I was making a point. If you go to the British Museum today, more than half of what is in that British Museum was stolen from Africa. It was stolen. It was not given.
Okay.
It was not borrowed. They stole it.
Okay.
And that is our history and that's our culture. They've hung those things on the walls of the British Museum for years, and they have collected toll for something that is not theirs. My only question is this. I want you to put it at the back of your mind. Imagine it was the other way around. That it was Nigerians that stole from them. Will we be having this conversation on a civil level, or is going to be a war? Because the white man does not, don't think about
Especially
it.
when they're stronger.
He does not negotiate.
Hold on.
Comes and
I agree. All of your assertion is absolutely right, sir. Let me cut you down there a little bit as you're waiting. All of my understanding of that interview, I am not a fan of Kemi. That is number one. But I liked her. I like her guts to speak, to stir things, conversation that we don't want to have. Now, there are a couple of statements you made, especially when it come about the repatriation or whatever they call it. I don't think that the British society or the Western society need to demand that.
My brother.
What did they left? What did they left for us when they left?
My brother. Let me finish.
What did the Western government left for Nigeria?
Let me finish. This group of people you are talking about, this group of British whites, let me put it this way. Let's put all of them because they are all the same. The French, the Spanish, the English, the Dutch, they even the Belgians. There is no difference. They only go to anywhere they will go to and suck out everything they can get out of that place as long as you are allowing them. That is who they are.
That is a key word. If you are allowing them.
If you are allowing them. Now let me put it this way. My only question is this. The way I want you to understand, let us balance it. Imagine it is the other way round. Imagine the conversation is the other way round. That we as Nigerians stole from them and they now realized it today that we stole from them. Will this conversation be a civil conversation or will it be a military grade conversation? That is the point. Because we always try to it's like we are trying to think that there is a way we are going to talk to them, that they will understand our situation and they will come and do what is fair. They won't, because we are not doing what is fair.
Standard.
There are two wrongs don't make it right. I'm not saying that our Nigerian.
Sir, I disagree with you.
Okay,
I disagree with you.
I
like the way you actually mention the other African countries and what they're going through in the hand of their former colonial masters. When you talk about the French, when you talk about what's happening in Niger, in Congo, in Cameroon, and all of these African countries that speak a bit of French, and then you talk about what is going on in Namibia. All of this is a problem of disunity of Africa that Africa needs to sit down and address.
Now, can I put something together?
Let me finish.
The disunity will take time to be united.
No, let me finish.
But it doesn't mean that we are.
I am not finishing. I am making a statement.
Let him finish.
What you say against the backdrop of what you say, that the West, the world is not a fair ground. The survivor of the fittest. You saw what happened in Libya. You saw the interest of international community in Syria. You saw what is happening in Afghanistan. There are interests. But the first thing that matters in any society that wants to survive on its own is the society need to make a determination that the foreigners that will come to our land, we will trade with you on a fair ground. And we will develop our country. This is what North Korea is doing, and they are standing and they are confronting it all the way. This is what China did, and China survived it.
That came at the blood. Don't
You are
don't
making things
conflate
up.
two things. Don't conflate two
You are
things.
confusing
If you
it.
say that
You are mixing
it
it
is
up.
true that a country should be determined, but
You
they're
are, you
also
are mixing it
possible
up.
that a country can
Who
be
should
more
decide?
powerful
Who
than
should
you.
decide how we should be
You are
treated?
Listen,
mixing.
in
Listen, let me
the
tell you.
Treaty
Let me
of
tell you. Let me,
1861,
Guys,
the King
guys,
of Lagos, refused and did not allow them to come in. They laid a siege from the using cannon and they shelled that place
even
down
the king of
until they
Benin.
sacked the king. The same thing with
Even the king of
Ovarawen.
Benin.
Ovarawen of Benin. Ovarawen, hold
It's
on,
the same
please.
thing. Listen.
Ovarawen of
Let me.
Benin. Ovarawen of Benin resisted them. He said they can't see him. They sacked the place and took all those things. That
guys,
something on the naira is
guys,
what that the
Let
man
me.
talks
guys,
about
Well,
is
hold on.
guys,
betrayal.
Let me
It's
just.
guys,
Let me.
conquest.
guys,
My Oga.
guys.
My Oga. Let me just
Oga,
finish something I
hold
want to
on.
say.
Let me say something because it's on my
Okay.
head. Let me say it, please,
No. No.
because
Okay.
I really love the intellectual conversation that we're having now because I see
It's
that you
good.
guys are aware of what is going on. We are not disagreeing. We are having a conversation. And at the end of the
Obviously, yes.
day, if I'm on the wrong step, I will learn from you. But there may be hot temper in my head, something that I really have in my head. Allow me
I
to
understand you are passionate. It's
Yes,
not that you
allow
are
me
hot
to bring
tempered.
it out so you can subjectively inform me the better part to that
Okay.
solution that we're looking for. But if you don't allow me to bring it out, then it become into a chaotic argument whereby I'm still
Obviously.
thinking I have this on top of my head, and you are thinking you have the solution or you have the final say about. We don't want that. We want a conversation in a
No
very,
problem.
very dynamic way that way wake other thought off in our mind. What I'm trying to say is this: is we cannot go back to 100 years ago, the slavery.
Obviously.
If we are going to go back there, we can never repair the future of Africa. Nigeria got independent from the British in 1960. And I want you to tell me, when has any subsequent Nigerian leader stand for Nigeria? When
There has
has
never
they
been.
stand?
There have never been because the thing is this. Let me give you the reason. The reason is simple.
They have
Look,
stood for Nigeria, but what you don't understand,
anytime you
sorry, excuse
have
me, please.
okay.
Sorry, please. I'm very sorry to hold you. They've stood for Nigeria. You understand?
In what
But I
way?
also want to let you understand that the society is not, you see, most of the biggest mistake we always make at the end of the day is that one man solves every Nigerian problem. And that came from the fact that we always had this central system of government. But a society to develop, we have to develop collectively. So we also, like I said, there's leadership problem in Nigeria. Is Nigeria corrupt? Is Nigeria bad? That is true. Nobody denies that. That's a very separate, unique conversation that is endless. But the problem I'm trying to make you understand, we are trying to talk about it when you talk about the future and the past. A lot of things that is happening in Nigeria now are problems that have been created in the past. Who created it? We created it for ourselves. But we also have external people who has always made it a point of duty that Nigeria should not be better because they have always
Exactly.
manipulated things for us at the end of the day. But who is going to solve Nigeria problem? Is we. So
Nigerians.
what we are trying to say is that there has to be a lot of collective things. There are so many things that doesn't even make all these things possible. Society is very complex.
It's
You have
complex.
tribal issues, you have religious issues. We have even the fact that even just listening to about Kemi Badenoch now, many people cannot distinguish between two things. What if this woman and the way she's talking today is because of our own personal self-interest? I need to talk to my paymaster. I need to say things they like to hear so that they can make me feel safe. She's even a Nigerian. Maybe she doesn't even believe those things she's saying. Maybe she's just saying that just make sure that she's there.
He's a
Just like the way
politician.
normal
He's a
Nigerians who want to be
politician.
smart.
He's
Yes.
a
You
politician.
understand? So that's the point we're trying to say.
Now,
There are two distinctions. Nigeria is in a bad shape.
But
Nobody's saying that. Nobody denies that. We want it to be better than what it should be. But again, we are not having the right conversation about that.
now, let me
We have to
let me
collectively find it together. We are never united in anything we do.
listen.
Okay,
But
go
look
ahead.
at
Go ahead.
Risisona.
Eddie, go ahead.
Risisona
Eddie,
comes
go
from
ahead.
Let
India.
me just
I've been
let
to
me just say
India.
something to you.
I've been to India. Sorry, just a minute. I've been in India. I've seen India. If you go to India, India's poverty
You
index
see
is
the way
far
you
greater
guys are
than that
doing.
of
This one are
Nigeria.
dragging. This one are dragging. You let one person finish so that we can understand. Both are like two of you right now. This one they talk. This one they talk. We know come understand. So if one person want to make it talk, he finish it, or then another person take, please, so that
Ibisco,
we can understand what you are saying.
Ibisco, we want you to talk now. They will hold in for you. Ibisco, welcome. Good evening. Go ahead and have your say now, please. You've been waiting.
My brother, the only things I see here right now, like if people wake up and say, okay, Nigeria no good, and anybody will come and come talk say, this country no good. People can come and say, no be say supposed to take talker. Okay, you will know how to talk before. You don't ever come out, can't talk am. Now, and there is another thing about Nigerians. We will sit down, say, oh, now Britain, oh, now be the problem of Nigeria, oh. They stole things from Nigeria years back. When they carry those things, I believe some of those things still remain where it is now for Nigeria. At least recently now, they take some of all those articles back to Nigeria, to Edo State. Let me tell you, after 2 years, after 2 years or 3 years, go and look for those things. You will not see them again. No be to build better house, you carry big put for there. You must rough the house. The thing in Nigeria where we talk right now is that this woman, you don't come out, you don't talk your own. Everybody here right now say, okay, Nigeria no good, but the woman not supposed to talk like that. Okay, that is good. You know that Nigeria no good, and you know how to talk so that make Nigeria good. You don't ever come outside and talk. What is your own contribution? You know, all these things we just, everybody just over intelligent. I go school, I know politics, I know this. After everything, the country still remain where it is.
Thank you,
understand?
Eddie.
So my own here, my dear, the woman talking own. That is his own. Okay, right now, sitting down and blame this woman, see what he talk and see what he no talk, is not going to change Nigeria. You understand what I'm saying? Nigeria as a country where me and you know, say, now everybody where they okay, everybody knows say Nigeria no good. The same people know say, I share where you see so. Sorry, I share yours now. I share now the only person when they sing national anthem, he not stand up. But he go come open mouth, come condemn this woman. Nigeria, all the politicians you see today standing, oh, like say they are standing for the masses.
That is some, hold on, sir. That is a very, very a T. Did you hear what this guy the statement he just made now? A patriotism like Aisha, the way she claimed today.
You see, the thing is that different people react to things differently.
Okay.
What like I'm very happy. You see, the one thing I've not said here is that is Nigeria a bad place? Is it well run? Is everything okay? You understand? I've told you that it's true. I agree with him. He has said the same thing. He said one thing, that even if you return those things back to that, they're going to manage it very well. There are many of our things that they've not managed. The only grounds I have is that I know when somebody says something, I know where the intention is coming from. Those things she said about the country, they are not necessary. We don't need Kemi Badenoch to let us know the situation in Nigeria. Some of us even live abroad.
It is important to
read. Yeah, that's I'm coming. Let me just say something.
Okay.
So what I'm just trying to say is that is the intention. You have to look at the intention, the overall context of what she's saying and how she's saying them. That is the thing about that. Anybody, even if Kemi Badenoch doesn't say that, we read it in the press, Nigeria is corrupt, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is drug dealer, we know all those things are going to be there. But what if you look at those who have even criticized her from within the British society, what they're saying is as a leader, and let's even take it that she's not a white, she's not something, you don't take a swipe at a country like that, particularly a country of your origin. What matters most is that you should be in a position whereby you are able to actually offer and say these are the things that are possible for this country. There must be a way.
Sorry, do you remember? Do you remember when? Sorry, guys. Do you remember when conservative leader, the former Prime Minister David Cameron, told the Queen right in front of the Queen and President Buhari and called Nigeria fantastically corrupt in the Buckingham Palace?
Yes, he's free. Yes, he must have said that it's fantastically corrupt. But at the end of the day, when COVID came, he was brought before the inquiry and he was hustling with his company to get COVID contracts.
Hold on.
I know what I'm saying. So I mean, I agree with you.
My brother, I don't want us to litigate for our irresponsible leaders. And that is what Ibisco tried to say here. We should not be their spokesperson. We should not be laundering the image of the country that they're not every day destroying right in front of us. Every day, our image is being truncated. nationally, internationally, because of our leaders. I can tell
But
you,
it doesn't, but bros, it doesn't get better.
hold on,
You have to
it
prove. Let
can
me tell
never
you, one
get
of the
better if
things,
we're
one of the
sugarcoating
best
it.
ways, one of the best ways to improve yourself.
My
You
brother,
understand?
my
Even
brother,
one, accept your
self-improvement.
challenges. Hold on. It's a marketing
No,
thing.
because
Let
I
me
am
tell you.
saying something. You know, we agree earlier when I'm having a statement. Let me finish what I'm saying. Oh my God, I lost my thought. But what I'm trying to say is this, brother. I know exactly where those thoughts are coming from. I know where the vice president of Nigeria is getting her initiative of that rebuke he did, or the speech he gave where he was basically rebuking Kemi on her statement. It is image laundering. I also understand when they were rebuking Davido, when Davido told Americans, do not return to Nigeria. This kind of statement, as outlandish, as mad as we may feel, it is a necessary conversation that Nigerians need to start having. And it is better, even important, when those statements are coming from people that have influence. I would have expect Rufai, I would have expect Aisha Yusuf to jump and say, wow, now you see Nigeria. You see exactly what we are talking about. The lady did not hold back when he laid it down for people. And I said it earlier in my opening statement. 2 weeks ago, Shego Shobawale said that Tinubu, all of the top position in Nigeria is given to Yorubas. I have no problem with that. I believe Tinubu selected his cabinet according to his wishes or who he believes they are competent. And I also make it clear that during the Buhari's regime, Buhari reserved all of the important positions for the northern, namely IGO police, namely EFCC chairman, chief judge of federation. Hold on, chief judge of federation, and a whole lot of other people to the northern part of Nigeria. Now,
Jonathan also did the same.
Jonathan
also did the same.
Okay, I agree with you. Let me agree with you that Jonathan did the same. Zone everything to Asaba or to the. But is that how a society that call ourselves a united Nigeria should be run? So if I now come out today and I said I identify more as a Gbira man than as a Nigerian, should anybody be holding that against me?
Listen, can I come in?
Yes, sir.
Can I come in? Now, the question is this. When you are saying that, you as a person say, I identify more as a tribal man than a Nigerian.
No, not as a tribal man. As the place I come from.
I'm not saying. No, let me just finish it. You as one person, when the number of people you can reach is limited. When you are now the president or the leader of a group in another country or in another situation where you can pull the ears of millions of people, the reach is different. That is one. The intensity is different. Now, two is this. What Kemi said is detrimental to Nigerians living in the UK because we know what can happen. The way she has played it, it can, in certain situations, start to cause violence against Nigerians if she does not know. Because at the end of the day, who is going to suffer the brunt are the minority who are Nigerians living in the UK. That is the real problem.
In what way does her statement
because obviously you have told them that these people are not to be trusted. That is what you are saying. Literally, you are saying that if you have a Nigerian in your midst, don't trust them. So if you are working with a group of people that, okay, for example, you are working in a company where 95% of them are white and you are the minority there, you have already planted a seed and you don't know what is going to grow out of it. What she has said might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but in the future, in the near future, it will be used against you as a Nigerian. I know what I have suffered just because I carry a green passport. If you leave Nigeria and go to places like Egypt, you will die. They will steal you in the airport and go and use your body for parts. Just because of a green pass, because they know that nobody's going to fight for you.
Okay,
that is the point. And she has.
Okay, now you've just answered your own question now by that assertion alone. Do you think it is Kemi that should be upgrading our image internationally?
No, that is not the question. The question is not that we should upgrade our image. What she's supposed to do in her position, if I was in her position, is not to criticize the Nigerian government openly like that. What you are supposed to do is to look for ways, using your position, to at least try and assess certain problems that we have. For example, our judicial system, which is a huge problem, which if you want to start with any type of development in Nigeria, our judicial system has to be crumbled and rebuilt from the start.
Okay, sorry.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Because the problem of our judicial system, it resonates from the courts and goes to every other sphere of the society. Number one,
I think when you are saying,
let me just finish my thoughts.
When you are calling about judicial system, we don't have a judicial system.
That is the point.
We don't
what I'm saying
have.
is that we have what we call a judicial system. What I'm saying is that it is so fragile that it does not work. So that is where if I was in a position where I would try and assess and tell, oh look, what can I do? Well, how can we go around it and make strong policies, build institutions that will work in that country, not for you to now start to bombard and kick against everybody that is from that country. Are you now telling me that the way she has said is that everybody in Nigeria is a criminal?
She never used the word.
I would love to just for 30 seconds. Let me explain what that man is trying.
She never used the word.
We spend more time saying this is what she said that she ought not to say. But maybe another thing that would be good, I just thought about it, that let's us say what is the right thing that she's supposed to say at her own position. So let's start from number one. Let's look at the similar people who have occupied the same position. You have the man in Scotland, you have the Mrs. Sunak, you have Priti Patel, you have other people who have come from countries that are very low. Mm-hmm. And all they have done, even under Mrs. Sunak, they made so many visas that were very much available for tech something. And more Indians came to this country. Go and check the Home Office statistics. You'll see that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, the fact that she's a Nigerian, right? Mm-hmm. And she's actually in this exalted position that she's in. The first thing is to say, you know what? I come from a place where the people there, I'm an example of these people, and where many of us in the UK who are lawyers, doctors, doing everything for the country. Why not for, like you said, we didn't have a lot of those opportunities, and we actually had to have the opportunities. You understand that is there. Then that's number one thing. That's veneration of the people of Nigeria. First, even identify with the roots of the people that have come to make you. Now, the second thing that would have been very opposite for her to do. Now, let's just take it that now she's no longer a Nigerian mouthpiece. She's a conservative leader, and she's this. Countries have bilateral, multilateral relationships. Today, Britain counts us as part of the Commonwealth, and we are together. What she can do in her platform, and would be best thing for her to do, is to use her influence to get the Nigerian leaders to toe the line of things that are possible. She was a trade secretary. She brought a lot of, we signed up trade agreements about 7 billion or something while we were there. Is to use the opportunity. Because you see, she can achieve the same thing without coming out and putting the vitriol. And at that point, hold on.
No, sorry.
The last point this guy raised. I know. Sorry. Just one more thing, please. The last vitriol this guy raised. Words matter in politics, and we can see that in America everywhere you say. Mm-hmm. If you say you stand as a place and you have this epitome that people want to respect you about, and you still portray the nation where you come from, that is theirs. If there's any goodwill or anything that is supposed to come to us, they're going to look at us as different. So, that's a very good girl. Everybody shoved her out. She came to London and she was survived. The rest of you are funny. That's where the point is. And I'm very sorry. I have to put my seat so that other people can take him, because I need to go and sleep.
I just wanted also
thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I want to make it clear that it is on us as the people to speak the truth to ourselves, first of all. But if we are not doing it, then somebody else will have to do it for us. Kemi is not representing Nigeria. Kemi is a British, representing the British political party, representing the ideology and the interest of the British society. That is number one. The people that are representing us, is the vice president that spoke day before yesterday. Is Tinubu that was in France a couple of weeks ago. Those are the people that are representing us. We must not be biased when we are analyzing this and just picking on her for expressing her experience. There's something my brother said earlier. He said maybe this woman lack identity. I don't believe that. Somebody that lack identity will not rise to that level. He exactly know the kind of politics she want to play, and she grab it. Let us be honest with ourselves. Nigeria is a failed state, in my own opinion. We don't have any recipe to stand as a country. We are completely expressing more hatred against each other than love. We don't have unity. We are led by liars and deceivers.
Mr. Ben,
And
Mr.
this
Ben,
is
when
my
you finish,
problem.
please, you give me time to talk. You know,
Go ahead, sir.
it is very painful sometimes. I don't understand, Sha, but it is very painful. Like, if we as a Nigerians, we cannot fight for ourselves, and we see somebody coming out to fight for us, and would they blame the person?
Now,
We cannot fight for ourselves. We cannot fight for ourselves. You cannot even go for protest. You cannot go for protest. Soldier will gun you down. Police would arrest you. But you see somebody, and somebody say, oh, this thing that this woman is saying now is going to put them in trouble. In which way? It's going to help you. When somebody see you running from Nigeria to UK, he would assist you because you know you are in trouble. Because you know you are in trouble. Because your leader go outside there and tell the people, Nigeria is okay. Why are these people here in UK? No, they turn them back. It cannot happen like that again. See, people, we need to understand. It paid me so much because I now find out that say Nigerians. I say one thing right now. Everybody said they just wake up and say, oh, I'm a Nigerian. You see the way the system be today. I tell you, with this kind of mindset, I hear people talking, the country will remain like that for 100 years to come. If we not change our mindset, somebody stole your thing. You need to go and meet the person in the parlor and tell him, hey, you know, see, he stole my thing. Give me a bag.
Bisco, let's look at
right
it. Let's look at it this direction. Let's look at it this direction. Hold on there. Let's look at it. You are talking again. The woman said, I identified more as a Yoruba, my tribe, the language I speak, like a Scottish man now saying, I identify as a Scottish than United Kingdom. That is the Scottish man experience. The woman said, I identify more as a Yoruba than as a Nigerian, that I have no connection with the northern part of Nigeria. Our cultures are not the same. I don't celebrate what they celebrate. They don't celebrate what I celebrate. Our ideologies are not the same. We don't have the same assimilation of understanding.
Mr. Ben, can I cut you?
Sorry, sir.
Just please.
No, please, okay. I will say something before. After Mr. Ben, let me just
let me finish. Let me say then we will continue. So let me put content on what she said. It's very, very, because that's what I want to deal with. That part is what I want to deal with. I'm a minority in Nigeria. And I have said it that my child will have more chance to be a prime minister of the UK or a president of America than thinking or dreaming of being a president of Nigeria. Now, people are now telling this woman what she said was wrong when she gave a dig against the Northerners. But the current president is practicing the same thing. The current president think that the best position in Nigeria should be reserved for Yorubas. So that means the president of this country actually believe in Yoruba than Nigeria. Because if the president believe in Nigeria, He don't have to share the top position for Yoruba. He should give it to people that are qualified from every tribes and make it united that we call ourselves. Now, Tinubu is doing it. Buhari did it. And somebody just confirmed that Jonathan did the same thing. Abdusalam did the same thing. Babangida did the same thing. When they are in power, they hire all of their tribesmen men. And when they are out of power, then you now tell other tribe that you're not invited into the party to be going about and be telling you how great Nigeria is as a country. There was a time I believed solidly in that ideology. No more. I agree 100% with this woman. I identify more as a Biraman, a tribe that can never be president of Nigeria, a tribe that can never even be Senate president of Nigeria, according to definition of Nigeria at the moment. Because in this UK right now, I could be a minister. If my child is born in America, he can be American president in the future. If my child is born in the UK, can be a prime minister. Here you have a lady who moved back to the UK at the age of 16 on her own, being an attempt to take a leadership of this country. Is it possible in Nigeria, we call our state, where somebody of nobody, who know Kemi Badenoch father, nobody knows the father. Today, she's a conservative leader. Is that dream achievable in Nigeria?
Now, what I said initially, if you remember, I said she has an identity crisis. Now, it's the same thing that's happening in Nigeria. We have an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. That is our problem. We have leaders that are conservative in nature. That is why they will choose from their own place. That is the same thing the white man will do. If he is going to share the meat, he's only going to share it with people that look like him.
Then we should not be calling. Then we should not be calling Nigeria a one nation.
It's a syndrome.
The country is a scam on its own.
Listen. It's a syndrome. It's a vision of the way they look at governance. Now, they will only look at people that look like them. That is why they'll give those people the opportunity. The people that look like them. That is the point. Now, unfortunately, we are now in a situation where this conservative nature does not work for us as a people. We need to be more progressive. Being progressive means that we are going to join everybody. Everybody is going to be part of it. The governance and the government
When would
structure.
this take place, please? I want to know.
Hold on. Let me
When
finish.
do you think this place want to take
Hold on. Let me. You have not. I understand what you're saying.
We'll be holding on like this for many years ago, bro. When this thing is not see, bro, there is something you people always say that I don't understand. Please come in out and explain for 100 years, just like this. Mr. Ben said something just now, my brother. I'm from Cross River State. Many people, there is Delta, Ibibio, there is Efi, there is many tribes in Nigeria who would never see president in their life.
In their own life.
Like I said, listen, hold on. Listen,
I'm coming, please, bro.
Hold on.
There is many people, there is many tribes in Nigeria, just the same way Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. They will never face to see vice president in their life. And you are telling me we are one Nigeria. When they want to talk, okay, look at what they are fighting now. Like if they are fighting now. Oh, let's give Igbo president. What of a Calabar man? What of a Baraman? What of a Goja man? What? See, I'm sick and tired of this. And somebody will come out and explain. Somebody is coming out now to tell you, to help you. You see what this man is doing? See, this man can stay in Britain for many years. You don't have any problem. If you go to Nigeria, escort will follow this man. If you want to get money from Buhari, he will get it. If you need anything in Nigeria, he can get. But he risks his life to say the truth. And you, instead of you supporting this woman, you say what he said is not good. This woman can go to America and live his best life. He can go to anywhere in the world and live the best life. But he come out to speak for you. He come out to speak for you and me. And you are condemning this woman. I don't know what we are. I say, brother, no matter. Do you know this school that Nigeria go? Anybody that goes to school in Nigeria is the biggest illiterate. I tell you that today. Because the Nigeria feel when they know how to explain, speak English, they can explain anything, and after explaining everything, we remain in darkness. This very woman now, if you look at the people that come out to fight for all this, okay, I want to make an example with two people. Davido, first of all. Davido have the right, he can fly to anywhere and live his life without speaking against Nigeria. But he stand up because he cannot go to Aso Rock and slap the president. He cannot go to Aso Rock and shoot the president. This to come out to any place to talk, that is how to fight for Nigerians. This woman cannot stop. Okay, you say you can call them and talk to them in the secret. Do you know how many calls this woman have been calling these people sometimes? Do you know before this woman get to this place, he sit down with Nigerian politicians and tell them this thing is not good. He tried to talk to them. He have opportunity to speak out for me and you. My brother, this woman, for example now, me and you, that everybody in this place, do you think this woman, if he don't talk about Nigeria, if he go and meet Turumbu and tell Turumbu to give him so billion naira, he will not give him. He will give her and shut up and sit down. But he decided to say no. He don't want to put his hand in those things. He want to fight for his people. Okay, look at this one. Sorry, Mr. Bell, let me just drop this one. He want to fight for his people. He stand up and say, I can associate myself to be, I'm a Yoruba. Yes. Do you know why? He's a Yoruba because he know there is nothing like Nigeria. Everybody have his own way to go. There is nothing like Nigeria. The woman let you know, if you don't, anybody who have sense, the woman already let you know there is nothing like Nigeria. I'm a Yoruba. He let you know.
James, hold on there. Hold on. I have a question for 51 of us here now, 51 soul, and I believe most of us here are Nigerians or some sort of African. If you are a Nigerian, can you as an adult over 18 right now tell me one benefit you think your father you get as a Nigerian, that you know this benefit is readily available? Tomorrow, if you need that benefit, you will get it. Not benefit as a money, or one thing that makes you proud to be that Nigerian. Like one thing, like for example, now,
Only when we
find yourself in Germany today and you have a crisis in Germany, you could call Nigerian embassy in Berlin and they will answer you and they will help you. I want you to tell me anything that you can lay your hand on.
Listen, my Oga, Mr. Ben, like I've been saying before, it's not as if I was trying to explain. I'm trying to tell you the way I see things, and I think I have a legitimate reason
Absolutely.
to at least come and pronounce myself. Now, the question of the matter is this: Nigeria is in ruins. There is no doubt about that. How do we get out of the where we are? We need help because we cannot do it alone. That is the point you have to understand. We cannot do it alone. As a country, we cannot do it alone. Let me give you another insight to how these people operate, the Europeans, and why they are not our friends in the long run. But we also have to force the matter so that they can also look in another direction so that we can get something and get something from them, or means from them, or technology from them, or knowledge from them, in order for us to lift ourselves from where we are. Because we as a people cannot come up with all the solutions. I can assure you that. Let me finish. I just said something. You have not let me finish. Now, the question is this. An example is this. Some few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I think Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, they are the largest producers of cocoa in the whole world. Those two countries. I think they produce more than 70% or 60% of the cocoa that is produced all over the world. Now, the Ghanaian government, I think the last president, was audacious. He wanted to develop his country. He wanted to put the right things in the right place and do a lot of massive infrastructural work. What did he do? They don't have the money. He went to get a loan. He got a loan from the IMF. They were doing everything in order for them to put their country on the map, which they are doing. What they now did was that they now spoke to 2 countries, which is, I think, Switzerland and one other country. They told them that they will no longer sell cocoa to them directly, that they want them to come to their country and establish industries so that they would produce that. How is it possible? Look at this. Oh, the best chocolate, if you go to anywhere in the world, the best chocolate is from Switzerland. But in Switzerland, you cannot find one tree of cocoa. This is the way they operate. Now, when they told them, when the government, these two governments told the Europeans that, look, oh, we want you to do this, they said no, that they are not interested in that. What did they do? When the Ghanaians actually came up with their threat and said they are no longer selling to them, the loan that they had collected, you know, when you collect a loan, you collect a loan in dollars. You change the money to your local currency and you use the local currency to do what? To build what you want.
Structures, yeah.
What they now did was this. Because these people kicked against them that they wanted development, what they now did was that they went to the IMF where they collected the loan and started afflicting pressure so that they can devaluate the cedis. That is why it plunged. And now what happens is this. If you collected loan at X value and your exchange rate at that day was Y, if the value of Y to X starts to change, what you are now going to do is that you are already inflating the value you are going to be using to return back the money. So they ineffectively they are frustrating the Ghanaian government because the Ivorian government because they chose to hold on their own to a position. That is what the Europeans do. They never fight a fair fight. That is what.
Nobody should fight a fair fight.
No, you are not understanding what I'm saying.
I understand.
Not that they should not fight. They are not saying that. We are not saying they should fight a fair fight. I'm telling you that they do not want us to develop.
To rise.
That is the point.
To rise.
They don't want us.
Okay. Let me just interject a little bit there on that angle. Do you think the Americans want the North Korea to have the weapon they want to have?
Why do they need the weapons in the first place?
Hold on now. Please hold on. Please, it's a question I ask. Do you think America want them to have it?
They don't. Why would they need the weapons in the first place?
Stop. Why does America need the weapon?
Well, Americans they already had the weapons.
And then South Africa has the weapon. When South Africa, hold on, please, because we have to be very, very practical. South Africa has it. When South Africa was getting over to the black people, they finished it. They say, you have to give up this. Okay, why does one nation deserve it and another one don't deserve it?
My God, you are mixing it up. Why I'm saying that you're mixing it up is this. I'm talking about an economical movement.
No. I am coming to the economical
different things. Listen, they are two different things.
Brother, I'm going to stop you there because I really, for me to set up a stage, that means I know exactly the ideology that I have in my head.
They are different.
Hold on.
Do you know why Mr. Ben? Do you know why Mr. Ben is talking? Listen, my brother.
Hold on, please.
Why Mr. Ben is trying? Bro, I'm coming, please.
Yes.
My brother, do you know why Mr. Ben is telling you, is asking you this question? Because you see what Nigeria is always complaining. America is our problem. European is our problem. That is why he's asking you this thing. Did America want North Korea to have weapon?
The problem of weapon and economic development are two different things.
It is the same. Hold on.
It is not.
Let me educate my brother, please. Let me educate and I'm ready to learn from you. Let me finish my thought. Eddie, hold on. Let me finish my thought. Please give me a chance. I beg of you. Now, the reason I brought that radical question involving the weaponization of North Korea and also talking about what America, the objection of Americans against North Korea is very simple. North Korea know what their security need and they wanted to go for that. And America said no. North Korea said no, we are getting it. And America said, okay, we're going to sanction you economically. You are going to suffer. North Korea said, yes, we will suffer. Then we have this to protect us. And today, North Korea has been facing sanctions for the last 20 years, if no more than that. And they have maintained their stand. They have maintained their stand.
At the cost of what?
At the cost of the economic hardship for a principle. Hold on, sir. Africa need to wake up and say, we want to develop ourselves. And we want to start from, first of all, feeding our nation, farming, before cars, before technologies. If we start with that, we have, in short, there's no continent as rich as Africa. Zero continent. We are the richest in terms of mineral resources, different kind of mineral resources. Then we now have a fertile land. But because of hatred for ourselves, we are sold out before anybody even prize us. So the problem that you just expressed now about Ivory Coast, Nigeria should be standing for Ivory Coast as the mega country of Africa and say this policy that this French government is applying to Ivory Coast is not fair. We want to stand with. Hold on, sir. We want to stand with Ivory Coast. We want to make sure Ivory Coast truly enjoy their true independence by managing their own cocoa farm and producing their own and selling at a fair price. Nobody will tell the Scottish government to sell crude oil to any country for cheaper price. Nobody will do it. Why do you have to tell Nigerians to do the same thing? And Nigerians agree. In short, you don't need to tell Nigeria. Nigeria will come and sell it for you at a cheap price. So let us be honest with ourselves, because we cannot move forward if we are sugarcoating it. If we are thinking, oh, let me say it nice because I am not patriotic. I am more patriotic to the UK than to Nigeria. Hold me to that. Don't give me ministerial position tomorrow because of what I say. Because you just told, sorry, sir, you have just told me now about the damage your passport cost you. It's not your face. I went to China. I was in Guangzhou and I was in a hotel with my British passport. And when Nigerians that are my trade partner come to the hotel, they don't let them come upstairs. They don't let them enter. But I'm a black man with a British passport and I'm admitted into the hotel. Why is that passport?
Is the problem.
Is the problem. Why?
Exactly. Because our leaders are the problem. Now, let me give you the reason why.
Now, we are the problem of where? Our youth are the problem.
Hold on, sir. Let me finish. This is my own deposition. I think I will finalize my concept of what I'm trying to all I'm trying to say in this last speech.
Hello, hosts. Those of us waiting here will have to speak. We've been waiting for a long time.
My brother, hold on.
You guys have been going back and forth. That's not fair.
Go ahead.
After this, I'm done.
Eddie, hold on. Eddie, you have to hold on. Go ahead.
I'm done after this.
He's been here. Go ahead, Eddie. Eddie, stop. Go ahead, sir. Thank you for interjecting.
Okay. Thank you. All right, thank you. I've been listening for a while. You see, it is clear that what is happening here is your value system. What is going on now? The value system you share, it resonates with the one. I'm talking about the host, Mr. Ben. The value system you share resonates with that of Ebis, and it does not resonate with the brother that called Ifo. You could see value system, your value. You want things to work. You think in a progressive manner. You can understand the problem. You clearly can identify a problem, define a problem. Because before you solve a problem, you have to define it. You have to you clearly define what the problem is, and then break down the problem. The solution emerges at the bottom. It is clear that you guys can understand this problem. But some of these people, like, and a fine example is this Eddie. You can see that when you listen to him, he speaks mostly. Oh, somebody's distracting us here. Indiscipline.
Go ahead.
Indiscipline.
I've muted it.
Now, yeah, so you could clearly see that he sounds like a typical Nigerian professor that teaches in a university. They theorize your life. Sometimes they talk so much you can't see any practical sense in what they are trying to submit. You could see theory all right round. So you have been listening to you have been trying to table to bring a practical perspective to what is going on, that this lady has seen, this lady using her position, because what the lady had ventilated on is an area so-called educated Nigerians would never go to. And that is why they are in the mess that they found themselves today. The lady has ventilated that area, giving them an opportunity to leverage on that to begin to, because you need to, before you solve the problem of Nigeria, it needs to be accepted globally that there is a problem. That there is a problem. That lady has only given them a window of opportunity for all of them to begin to speak up. Because what they are doing, what the rest of the world is doing, is using conspiracy of silence to silence people, to not let people know what is wrong with Nigeria. And then the white man, in their clever move, they continue to call Nigeria giant of Africa, because they know that these so-called educated Nigerians will run with it. They will always want to bask in their euphoria. They will always want to brag, and meanwhile neglecting the real problem that exists in their country. Half of them listening now are living in foreign country. They don't understand that the reason why they are living in foreign land, begging or trying to survive in foreign land, doing care work and disability and all manner of dirty jobs, is because the government of their so-called country had frustrated their lives. That if they had lived in their country, the job that they have, even those dirty jobs that they have now in the UK, in all over Europe, they can't get it in their country. They can't have decency of life. Nigerians are more likely to die in foreign countries than are more likely to die in their country than to die in foreign country.
No. You are actually, don't say foreign country. Nigerians are more likely to die in our country than in Sahara Desert.
Correct. That's exactly what I wanted to say. So they are more likely, a Nigerian is more likely to assess medical emergency in foreign country than in his own country. That is why you asked that brother, mention one benefit of being a Nigerian. They don't. But you see them, they go right around, they tell you, oh, it's our problem, white man. They keep blaming a white man. White man is doing what is necessary, taking advantage of the weak. It is a natural phenomenon. It is up to you to rise up.
And Kemi
has given you and stand your ground. Kemi has given you an opportunity to rise up and stand your ground. You're blaming him. You're blaming her. You're going around cursing her out. So you go to Twitter, you see them, they're dragging the lady. Because you Africans don't understand how the world works. They continue to blame a white man. What the white man is doing is natural. The host had asked you, why do you think the Americans don't want North Koreans to acquire weapons of mutual annihilation? Because it is called bully. The reason why America don't want any other person to have it is so that they can bully you into submission.
Bully other countries.
Because the basis of human equality is beat me, I beat you. Otherwise, there will be bully. That is the basis of human equality. If you beat me, I beat you. If you cannot beat me, if you don't have what other person have, they will be bullying you. That is why they use sanction and all of them to cripple everybody. So that is the very valid question you asked him. But again, typically, they don't understand how things work. They will be speaking grammar. Sometimes they get on speeches. You hear them. If you hear them speak convoluted grammar, you think that they have sense. No, they don't. They are the reason. It is that mentality that the white man thinks that we are all stupid. We are not. We are not all stupid. All black people are not all stupid. We have been trying to demonstrate this thing.
Do you know the good thing about it? Do you know the good thing about it? Hello?
I can hear you. Go on, host.
The Americans actually understand North Korea, why they needed it. They know these people are fighting for their survival. They know. So what is our own excuse is that the white man did it 100 years ago. We should be complaining. Nigeria have independent in 1960. And 0.110, in short, I even want a land. I want a building, a structure that Nigeria achieved. One structure, one edifice, one building alone that we achieved. One, just one. Nigeria don't even have a refinery. We have oil in more than 5 states. We don't have a refinery. We don't have a working refinery. Oh, maybe the British say we shouldn't have a working refinery. It is a recipe of a failed state. And the more we are sugarcoating the reality, then the more we will become a destitute in the face of international community. People like us, we have no chance to be part of the system of Nigeria. How it's shared. I just asked a basic question, my brother. I want to give you a chance again. Why do you think Kemi say I identify more as a Yoruba? She wouldn't have said I identify as a Scottish or English or a well. She said, I identify myself as a Yoruba than as a Nigerian. And they asked her, why? She said, I have no cultural identity with the rest of this part of the people of Nigeria. That brings us back to the foundation of that country that was laid wrong. You brought Igbos, you brought Yorubas, you brought Hausas, each of them 50 million. You join them together. Then you join other tribal, over 100, and call them a Nigeria. And it gave them a name called Nigeria without agreement. Then tell them you shall practice democracy, presidential government, and president shall come from Wazobia. What about the rest of the tribes?
Mr. Ben, I beg. I know. I want to talk for this thing where you talk now. You see that word where that woman talk, very intelligent word. If Nigeria gets sense, now Nigeria is supposed to stand with that woman. The woman don't let them know, say, stand up now, fight when I dare here. I go support you now. Because all of us no be one. So you need to go back to your roots. I can help you now to sign that paper. As I don't say, identify myself as a Yoruba man. You an Igbo man, don't say, identify myself as Igbo man. You an Hausa man, you fight for yourself. Stand up now. But people are blaming this.
Let me not be rude because I took over from my brother in the middle to talk. Brother, go ahead and say and finish what you were started. What started, please? I just interrupted you there. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. I hope I haven't deviated your
it's okay.
thought. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you, host. Thank you, Ebis. You're correct. What we are seeing is a window of opportunity for these people to latch onto this renaissance, to latch onto this breakthrough that is about to happen, so that they can at least for once in their lifetime to experience a chance to a better decency of life. This woman is, because what this woman had done is something that they never, no intel. You see all of them, including the ones that are director of World Trade Organization, including the ones that are all over the world, that are in big positions all over the world. They care less. This woman has given them a chance so that every other person that understands what education means, because what you guys are exemplifying here, yourself and Abis, you're showing intelligence. This is what intelligence means. You have to be practical. If someone says they are intelligent, you have to be able to see what they are able to do. By practically approaching issues, by practically developing something, that is how you can believe that somebody's in. If someone comes to tell you, oh, I have 3 PhD, 4 PhD in nuclear physics, and you look at his village, there is no light. How are you going to believe that person? You're a professor of nuclear physics, you don't have electricity, and you want me to believe in what you're saying. So these guys, these Nigerians, typical Nigerians, what they do is go all over the world, all over social media, laundering the image of Nigeria, protecting the criminals that destroy Nigeria. You are in abroad suffering. You are suffering in abroad. Those in power are destroying Nigeria. You're not the one destroying Nigeria. You are trying to eke out a living in foreign country. Those destroying Nigeria, now you are defending the image of the place they are destroying. You are laundering the image of the place they are destroying instead of exposing it. Because for you to solve a problem, you need to expose it. If your pipe that conveys water into your house has a leak, you invite, to solve the problem, you invite a plumber. The plumber will run a holiday technology to identify the leak, and then they will dig the pipe, and then you expose the problem. Then you identify the leak and you fix it. But trust me, these Nigerians are not intelligent. They go about covering. Go on, host. You want to say something?
Can we basically even break it down in a simple language? She said, when you give Nigerian police a gun, it's an empowerment to oppress. Who said?
To oppress.
So she said this. She said, my own brother. He said, my own brother, they stole his watch.
Stole from him.
They stole from him. And instead of, like, this is an opportunity to have a conversation.
Oh my God. Oh my God. A great opportunity to have a conversation. In fact, it was the greatest opportunity that these people can have to begin to engage this topic, to begin to say to themselves, next election, we can never allow somebody like Tinubu to come into power. This woman speaking on behalf of the beleaguered millions of Nigerians, that woman is not on the same level with the president of Nigeria. They are all beneath her. The president of Nigeria and their vice cannot in their entire life attain the position of that woman. If they were in London.
Imagine who came to reply her. A Boko Haram inventor, the vice president.
That if that man was to be found in London, that Boko Haram man was to be found in London, that man he can either be in prison or a security man.
Where you know this guy are inventor. Do you know there is nothing called henchman now? The Boko Haram are no longer paying anybody because there are two important particles in this Tinubu government. The State Defense Minister, Matawa, then the Vice President, the former Borno State Governor, where the Boko Haram have their headquarters, is now a Minister of Defense. Then we have the Vice President of Zamfara, where Boko Haram have a headquarters, as the Vice President. Then you don't hear about Boko Haram anymore. Suddenly. So what happened? Is that the bribe they have to give to them? So let us be honest with ourselves, because tomorrow lies on us. None of us want to remain in this country. But I have already vowed. I say when I die, make they carry my body, do experiment. Organ donation, I don't sign up for my license. I don't want to return my body to Nigeria. It means nothing to me.
No. Can I speak?
No, wait, let me finish before you speak. Let me finish.
Go ahead, sir.
Brother, you have what you have done so far. It is you have shown you have engaged reason. What this man Mazen Nandekan calls superior reason. You have engaged superior reason to understand what they have been playing on us. Nigeria is a big scam. But unfortunately, those who are led, the led is even worse than the leaders. You see, the led are very dangerous. The reason why you see each one of them defending the leaders is because in their deepest of mind, every single Nigerian, an average Nigerian, is hoping that the concept of corruption is going around, that it will get to their turn. That is why you see every single one of them defending the criminals, because they feel that this Nigeria is a piece of cake, that it has to go around, that it one day. That is why when they steal, when a politician steal, these people are hailing them. They call it grace. That this grace going around will come to their turn. They call it grace.
And somebody will write in the comment section, this government shall favor me.
Shall favor me. A government that is making life intolerable for the majority. That alone will tell you that no salvation is coming. I swear to God, for anybody thinking that Nigeria can be saved, that place is unsalvageable. There is no Jesus Christ or Muhammad can save that very place. No, the fact that you can see people who speak nice, so-called nice grammar, defending, trying to cast aspersion on this lady for speaking up for something that millions of the people, including those who claim that they are educated, are avoiding. This woman is actually an angel trying to give them something to leverage on, to begin to make sure that the next election, that something like Tinubu cannot happen to them again next election. But instead of all of them to galvanize force, to begin to muster the courage, rather they are turning around to drag this woman in the mud. But again, those of us that are intellectuals, those of us that are educated, we will continue to defend the truth. Wherever we find the truth, it doesn't matter who speaks it, as long as it is true, because this is how we earn our respect. When a white man looks at an average Nigerian with degree, once they are defending Nigeria, white man knows that this one is far more stupid than anything. He's defeated. They know that they are the type they can use. When a white man listens to you and you're calling out Nigeria, they know you're intelligent. Because for you to defend Nigeria, you must sound stupid. You must sound like an idiot. Because Nigeria is indefensible. For you to come out and say, oh, hey, this is working, you must sound stupid to defend Nigeria. It's just like defending religion. You must sound stupid. And that is how white people and the rest of the world assess the intelligence of every other person. The fact that you cannot understand that Nigeria had failed you, that the reason why you escaped your native land to thrive in other place, the reason why you are more likely to die in your own native land than in foreign land, goes to show you that that place is a scam. Somebody designed that place to frustrate your life. But guess what? Your brains are not developed enough to understand this thing. That is why you can come in a public debate to be defending Nigeria. Oh my God. It is a clear testament that the problem of Nigeria is the brain. It is the masses are the majority of the problem. Masses, it is not the leaders, it is the masses. Because you can clearly see it. Somebody is suffering. He ran away from Nigeria. He went to Europe and he's defending Nigeria he ran away from. Including telling those who are revolutionaries, who are seeking freedom, telling them, oh, why are you trying to fight for your freedom? You ran away from Nigeria. You want the revolutionaries to stay in Nigeria. The same Nigeria you ran away from. How hypocritical. How hypocritical. Anybody that ran away from Nigeria and condemning Nigeria is an intelligent person. Because you have realized that this country is the reason why you ran away. And something has to be done.
Over and over and over and over. You have said the same thing over and over and over and over. Everybody understands what I'm saying.
Let me speak.
Let me just finish my own part. I'll finish it and I'm going to leave this platform.
Let me just
finish. I'm ending it here. Except you just want me to leave.
Eddie, go ahead and say what you want to say. But
I'm going to say cordially.
People are passionately upset about the insult this woman is receiving.
I'm saying what I'm saying with my eyes open. I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot, and I'm not a tribalist. I'm not a stupid person as well.
Hold on. Let Eddie finish. Direct. Give me 1 second. You're gonna have the stage. Eddie, go ahead.
Right, no problem.
Everybody some people have said so many things about the fact of the way I position my own ideas, and I understand that. Even if he feels that my ideas are not going to work, or the way I'm saying it is not correct, is not in line in the way he thinks, well, it is his own problem. It's not mine. It's my own solution. Is the way I see it. Is the way I see it. All I know is that the Nigerian solution is not one solution. The problem we have as Nigerians is that we are messiah hunters. We go out looking for one person that's going to solve our problems, and that is why they use the white man brought religion, which actually is an African religion. They turned it to their own. They made us believe Jesus Christ was white, and up until today, there are still people that believe that Jesus Christ is white. So I understand where I am coming from, and I know where I am going.
Eddie, I want to stop you there. Eddie, I want
no. Let me finish. Look.
Okay,
let me
go
finish,
ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
Please,
go ahead.
Please. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Now, to buttress all I am saying, to finish it up, the Nigerian solution starts with the judiciary. It is not with the presidency. It starts with the judiciary. Because if a judge in a particular place, in anywhere in the country, does not deliver justice to the society, that is where our problem lies. Because unfortunately, look at what is happening between Afe Babalola and Dele Farutini, a case that should not even get to court. He has been imprisoned. That is the problem with Nigeria.
Thank you, Eddie.
Cannot get justice.
Eddie, I want to thank you for that. I want to bring direct. Go ahead, please.
The way I've been put across and inputted, I don't think it is good enough to call someone stupid, to call someone that does not have brain. For that. People, it is not. I'm ending it here. Don't worry. I'm ending it here. I'm going to leave your platform. It is for you and your other friends to continue to say whatever you think is the solution. And if the solution is in your hands, please go ahead and thank you very much.
The platform on the base of what people say on the internet, then I don't think that is a proper way of conducting conversation. Because when the conversation is heated in the parliament, people hit at each other. They fight. They throw stone at each other because of policy differences. It doesn't mean that they're going to say, I'm resigning from parliament because somebody threw something at me. Go ahead, sir. Direct.
Greetings, Mr. Ben. Greetings to the House platform. Eddie just said something which I want to quickly address. He said the problem is the judiciary. Actually, our problem is systemic. and he's putting the cart before the horse. Right? The problem starts from the foundation. It's a systemic problem. The very foundation, by the very by the very reason on how Nigeria was created, the basis of how Nigeria was created itself, is the reason why we're here today. Britain created Nigeria for its own benefit,
for a purpose like this.
Not for our own benefit, but for its own benefit. So you don't expect a system that was created by the people that first of all enslaved you, colonized you, and are still oppressing you indirectly. You don't expect such a system to work. It's delusional. So, but I digress. I would like to address the Kemi issue. Look, listen, I'm not a supporter of Kemi Badenoch, right? She's a raccoon, she's an African. But don't shoot the messenger. Listen to the message. The messenger is simply conveying an information that is generally an agreed consensus amongst the masses of Nigerians. She's not saying anything new that we've not already said. That has not already been repeated on various platforms, in social media, in mainstream media, on the streets, in Nigeria. Everybody knows more. Most people who are sincere, who are not being, on the payroll of the government, knows that Nigeria is not working. It's not working at all. So let's learn to separate the person delivering the message, even though the person herself is tainted. She's a mouthpiece. We know she's a mouthpiece for the white supremacist or oppressionist. We know that for a fact.
For the time being.
Based on her rhetorics, based on what she's been saying, we know she's a mouthpiece for these people. But we also know that the message that she delivered is factual. She didn't say anything that was, there was no lie in what she said. No lie spoken. So let's not lash out our frustrations on Kemi Badenoch out of our emotions or blind patriotism. But let's not acknowledge the fact that this message is the truth. And she simply stated a fact that known to most people, most Nigerians who are feeling the physical effects of government policies. From what's his name now, Buhari, up till now, since what's his name now, Tinubu entered government. So no matter how unpleasant the messenger is, and Kemi certainly is an unpleasant person, but let's not dismiss the message itself. Now, to the other thing about nuclear weapons and all that. Look, I don't know much about that, but I know that the reason why
the West, basically,
the West, the US, NATO, and the rest of them, their friends, oppose countries like North Korea, Iran, and the rest not to have access to nuclear weapons. This is about power and control. They know that the reason why Iran actually went to went to the program of uranium enrichment is because of what happened to them previously. Remember, Britain colonized their oil. Britain was drilling oil massively before Iran now kind of stopped that, and Britain called in America, and the previous the leader was removed, the democratically elected leader. We have forgotten his name now. Something has to do with forgotten Mossadegh or something like that. Mossadegh.
No, Ayatollah, no.
Was it Ayatollah or Mossadegh? I can't remember.
Yeah, Iranian leader.
I'm sorry. But he was removed, and they brought in their puppet, and the man messed up that country. Until the people in the country revolted and got the real leader back into government, into the leadership in Iran. The West doesn't like conceding power. Like to get free resources, right? Look at what happened in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. For decades, these guys had nothing. They were being exploited for their resources. The country, the masses were pushed into desperate poverty. Some of them were fleeing from the country, crossing the seas to get to the streets of Europe to go and suffer. But look at what these young men, people like Ibrahim Traore did. They took their destiny into their own hands and kicked out America, kicked out Germany, kicked out, most importantly, France. And look at what is happening to their country. And so at the end of the day, they don't want any of these countries to, have any access to, any way of defending themselves, because defending themselves means that they are no longer vulnerable to being exploited. That's just the truth. So nuclear deterrent is the reason why America can never invade Russia directly. Nuclear deterrent is the reason why America can never invade China.
They cannot even do it to North Korea that is not completing it yet. They can't do it.
Because North Korea is protected by China. And China has made it clear times without number that the moment America harms North Korea, they are directly in conflict, with China. So let's get that very clear. Now, in the same country, people like Buhari or Tinubu should never have been in a position of leadership in any sane country. In any sane country, no personalities, no persons like Tinubu or Buhari or any of those leaders, the previous leaders that have been in power, would ever even come close to the corridors of power. But we live in a system. We live in a system where we practice a system where shady characters, criminals, drug barons, certificate forgers, people who are affiliated to terrorist groups are allowed to come into power and take control over. That's why I don't claim to be a Nigerian, because claiming to be a Nigerian is me being in support of these things that are happening. Until Nigeria decides, look, I understand the reason why there's been agitation from various regions in the past few decades. I understand their grievances, because Nigeria is not working for anybody. If Nigeria was working, nobody would be agitating. Nobody. Many of the people that are supporting the government, like you guys have already repeated, are supporting them from the comforts of their homes in France, in UK, in America, and all that. Many of them are mentally jackpot, but they will stay abroad and be supporting Tinubu, and be supporting his policies, and be supporting Buhari, and be supporting his policy. Come on now. We need to at some point.
I thank you so much. Your contribution is awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
But my brother, the user 6261. Please go ahead, sir, and have your say, because Ibisco, go ahead. Ib.
Say something. Ben, I'm here with you, man.
Okay. So you go ahead, my brother in the middle, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Just 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Let me move around. So clearly, what the last speaker presented is absolutely correct. You see, we are getting closer to a consensus. Even those that don't agree, initially about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, with the ideologies some of us have been propagating, those of us that are revolutionaries, we're coming close. People who are educated are beginning to converge around the ideas that we propagate. So you see, Nigeria, anybody that left Nigeria, we keep saying it, if you leave Nigeria, that reason that frustrated you, that took you out of Nigeria, is the reason why we are seeking to be independent of Nigeria. Because Nigeria had failed in every language. Nigeria has failed in Ibira. Nigeria has failed in Zulu. It has failed in Yoruba. It has failed in Efik. It has failed in every single language.
It's a failed state.
It had failed in every single language. But it's unfortunate that these people, the reason why they continue to sustain the image of Nigeria is because they don't understand that Nigeria is designed to fail all of us. That is how you see, all of us that are progressive, you see how we are thinking. We can actually sit down and fashion out a country. All of us here on this platform can actually sit down and design the type of country that we want. But guess what? A white man wants to give us a country that they can control, where they can use individuals, rejected individuals in the society, to be in charge of all of our lives. Those we rejected are the ones in charge of our lives. It is a white man making it possible. But are we going to continue to blame a white man? The answer is no. That is why if all of us claim that we are adults with intellect, with brain, one single brain, the same thing a white man possesses, if we claim that we're adults that are educated, that have been educated, that understand how things work, it is our responsibility to begin to ventilate on these issues and begin to muster ideas and the courage to be able to challenge this existing order. That is what that is what's incumbent on all of us. And that Kemi had shown that what it is to be intelligent is to question and rationalize and challenge an existing order. That is what that woman has done. Giving these people an opportunity for them to rise up and change what had gone wrong for very many years, centuries before they were born. So what we are saying is, we are going to continue. We are going to. I'm sorry, it's a bit windy here.
Right.
I'll move around. I'll move around. Just 1 second.
Go ahead. Have your thought process.
Sorry for the wind.
It's
so
okay,
what we're saying is, we will continue to be looked down upon by every other race until we begin to define, to call a spade, to call out a problem for what it is. It doesn't matter the color of the problem. It doesn't matter whose ox will be God. It doesn't matter if the evil is coming from my father. We will bring out my father and crucify him upside down. That is how to solve a problem, without minding whose color that problem, what color that problem is. That is how to solve a problem, and that is how we can earn our respect. But until then, the rest of the world will continue to see us as a race that are intellectually backward, a race that can't find a solution to their problem, a race that can't even stand up.
And that is how they actually see us. And that's why
that's how they see us.
Racism. If you are dealing with a Bangladesh man now, it doesn't respect you. If you're dealing with a German, doesn't see you like you are important. So if you're dealing with an English person, it doesn't see you see like you are weak and you are good for nothing. He could be diplomatic and be nice to you, but at the end of it, you are good for nothing. That is why
you are good for nothing.
If you go to Lebanon at the moment, it's the same treatment you will get. If you go to tiny Egypt, you get the same treatment. If you go to Turkey, you get the same treatment. Can you imagine a Nigerian man is standing in Turkey and say racism? It's not because it's racism. It's because they have defined your standard for you.
Correct. Ben, you're very intelligent. You're very intelligent. They don't understand it. Racism is inspired by what you can do and what you cannot do. The world are looking at you as a race that cannot do anything for yourself. You are a liability. That is why racism thrives. Any day you are able to build a ship, any day you're able to do something, you're able to speak in the best interest of the majority without self-interest, without a personal interest, then you know you have arrived. Any day, I repeat, any day you begin to engage issues in the best interest of the majority, to think for the majority, to think for the greater number of the people, that time you know you have arrived. You know you will be respected. They know that you have sense. People like us, a white man cannot buy people like us. It doesn't matter the color of the white person. We are men of integrity. For the same reason a white man cannot be bought to sell his country or to sell his people. It's the same reason nobody can buy us. So we have come to demonstrate that there are men from that continent, that we are not all foolish. So some of you are the reason why they see us as we are all foolish. We are not. We are not, but we are trying to, because iron sharpeneth iron. We come to platforms like this to sharpen ourselves, to demonstrate that we are not all weak. What we are doing today will echo in eternity. We are trying to raise more men so that we can increase the number of men that are warriors in the mind, and reduce the number of cowards. These people that go about defending a white man, go about defending the indefensible. That's what we are doing, to increase the number of people who can reason, so that we'll put the idiots in our midst in lesser number. Because that is what we are trying to do. Because any society idiots overwhelm the number of people who have sense, then that society will be run into the ground. Example, Nigeria.
The society
is doomed. The society is doomed. Any society where more foolish people are more in number, this is a doomed society. And that is exactly what Nigeria represents. The majority of intelligent people, you see how every single intelligent person is fleeing the country. What you have is more morons. The morons, how do you identify them? They protect what is suffering them. They protect their oppressor. They speak good of their oppressor. They're always scared of calling evil for what it is. That is how you see moron. They don't care about how things work. For the majority, they don't know that your respect you command is based on when somebody sees you as a race. They look at you, you tender your passport. They look what comes to mind is how is his government responsible for him? Oh, his government doesn't care about him, then we'll treat him anyhow now. If your government doesn't treat you right, how do you now expect another race to treat you right? The government of your own country treats you worse than a foreign governor, and you're asking why should a person believe in Britain more than Nigeria? Nigeria is a country. It's a country, and people have the right to choose what country to belong. But you, as a nation that have a language, as a Biraman, as an ethnic man, as you are a nation, you are native, you have your own language. You are by design, you come from where you come from. But country is a choice. Country is a choice. It is what white man designed to fail, to make sure a black man does not understand how things work. That's why white man is forcing you to stay in a Nigeria they created so that they can exploit you. But you're not intelligent enough to understand that this man is trying to trick you. You see, so that is what we do. We continue to raise the awareness. As I said, platforms like this is an opportunity for us to...
I have a question for the,
Go on, host.
The intellectuals and the people that are so patriotic about Nigeria. There are three things that we'll talk about here today. And it's very, very important we understand it. Kemi said she identified more as a Yoruba than as a Nigeria as a state, number one. Then I've also asked Nigerians that are here that they should point out benefit they enjoy now or even tomorrow that make them feel like, okay, I wake up now, I am so proud I'm a Nigerian. I am so flabbergasted. I am great. I am a Nigerian. One benefit, I cannot see any. And I've also said it yesterday on my broadcast. For those of you guys that don't join us, I normally come down here as often as possible. And what I want is a conversation that is an inconvenience. I have never looked for one because our whole identity as people from that West African nation is inconvenience we are experiencing. This is Christmas right now. And people are going to be going home to their villages in Nigeria. I am telling you, some people are more worried about the joining to their village because they can be taken. They can be kidnapped by the police, by the non-state actors, and be taken away. Kemi said in Nigeria, her own brother wristwatch was stealing. Do you know police are still stealing people's watch today? Police are stealing people's money today. And that woman came out and speak like this in a public platform instead of actually looking at it and say, wow. So as long as this woman lives in the UK, she observes what is going on. This woman speak like a street girl. She basically bring open what we're hiding. And the president, the chief executive of Boko Haram, came out and said she has done bad. And Nigerians in diaspora, that today, if they revoke their visa, they will go on a hunger strike. I hear defending, abusing the woman. I am ashamed. I am ashamed. I am ashamed.
Host, we all are. All the intellectuals are. Those who have common sense, who have the brain to reason, are ashamed. We all are. You see, for us that are revolutionaries in the mind and in physical, those of us who are die-hard revolutionaries, we want to create a country that has national identity. Your identity is that country. I am a Biafran. The identity we want to create for the country that we are pushing for, it has nothing to do with tribe. It has everything to do with you knowing that your identity, the identity for you is a Biafran. The same way all of you live in the UK, all of you live in Europe. The country where you are, is there anything like the town of Amsterdam or the town of any of the part of UK? No, because they created for themselves what you call national consciousness and identity. That is what you need to create a nation. National consciousness and identity, where everybody identifies with the national identity. What makes you a Biafran is that you love the ideology, you believe in advancement, you believe in development, you believe in proving that all men were born equal. You believe that what a white man or a Chinese can do, we can all do it as Biafrans. So this is what we are preaching, that what you need to have a nation, a functioning nation, is national identity. It does not exist in Nigeria. That is why in the last election, some people were warning them, you cannot vote Tinubu. You are going to suffer. You cannot vote Tinubu. You cannot clearly with your open eyes vote him into power. He has nothing to do with tribe. Don't rely on tribe. Just look at what you suffered in the last 8 years and ask yourself, do you want to go down that path, even worse, harsher conditions?
Ask yourself, the man that is coming told you that he's going to build on the legacy of what you've suffered for 8 years. That is already a confirmation that that man don't deserve the position.
Don't deserve the position. And he was even, he went as far as...
Go ahead.
He went as far as... Go on, Edis.
Brother, please, let me just say a little thing here. Mr. Ben, if you want to check something, please, I want you to check. Aisha Bello, that woman was protesting during the time of NSAS.
Aisha Yusuf.
Why is he no, I'm coming, sir.
Aisha Yusuf.
He was protesting. Yes, he was protesting in the time of NSAS. Why is he protesting that time? Police brutality. And what is this woman complaining?
Police brutality.
So what? See, Nigeria is a joke. Thank you, my brother.
I want to bring somebody in. POWDR. You just join us. Go ahead and have your contribution, sir. All right. Star, go on. Star 1, go on.
Hello, Mr. Ben. I'm here.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello,
good evening, Joseph.
Can you hear me?
Joseph, go ahead. Hold on, guys. Joseph,
can you hear
go
me?
ahead.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, Joseph, go on. Joseph has been here.
Joseph has been here. Let's hear from Joseph, guys.
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Ben.
Joseph, go ahead.
Good evening from here. I'm in Houston. Good evening from here. And my brothers, good evening. Well done. And you guys, thank you for the opportunity given me to talk about this Nigeria. Nigeria is not working in the face. Nigeria is not working. I'm a young man. I left Nigeria not because I was happy leaving, because of what I work in an office where I mean, these things you guys are just saying, we see it practically. The level of Nigeria is doomed. Nigeria is a crime scene. So anybody who is sensible enough, who is not even in Nigeria, and you are here in Europe enjoying all the facilities, all the goodies, everything they are giving to you, security, your healthcare wise, and whatever thing they are giving to you, and you are still here, and you are supporting the evil going on in Nigeria. That person, I don't know what name to call that. I don't even know what to say about that person. If you are somebody who is reasonable enough, seeing the goodies, seeing how life is here, and you're supporting the evil going. Look, okay, just check, go on your checklist and see what's going on in Nigeria about food prices now. A bag of rice is almost 125,000 naira, if not 130.
A chicken is 30,000 naira. One tiny chicken like this.
Good. I mean, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? That country is a failed state. When you talk, people come against you. When you tell them that country is not working, people come against you. In every ramification, Nigeria has failed in every ramification. In anything, it's a failed state. Period. Nigeria is a failed state. Like me, I'm ashamed. I'm not even a Nigerian. I can't say I'm a Nigerian. God forbid it. It's a shame. Look at what is going on. Why are they attacking Badenoch? what did she saying the truth, and what she is saying is happening every blessed day. And do you know what? Do you even know what get me to what triggers me a lot is that you guys, when people say the truth, Davido said something last time. You guys attacked him. This woman said the thing. Now you guys are attacking her. Why can't you people sit down and fix this on Nigeria? No, you people don't want to fix this Nigeria. That is why I get angry with them. You don't want to even fix Nigeria, and when somebody is saying that, okay, this thing you people are doing is not good, people will get angry. What kind of thing? Oh my! Look at Barisa Faruti. Look at the way they are handling that man. What did they do? Telling the truth.
All she said. I got the book yesterday. I had to order the book. I ordered the book. I saw you guys to know the kind of a person I am. I don't just.
I was watching yesterday when you were displaying your this Amazon.
I ordered the book, and then I went inside, and today I have gone almost half of the page, and I almost start crying. I almost start crying because I can see where this guy was talking from.
I work in the judiciary. I work in the judiciary. Let me know. I work in the judiciary, at federal level. Before I left, I didn't leave because I want to leave. What I saw was it is crazy. And I'm not here to curse Nigeria, but Nigeria will never get better again. It's better to divide that country. Nigeria will never get better. Whatever any pastor, anybody is saying about Nigeria, blah blah blah, they are wasting their time. Nigeria will never get better.
There was a time I used to say there will be a Nigeria tomorrow, and I want to be honest with you. Every time I say that, I kind of feel like a liar because it can never work. It is impossible. The foundation is absolutely bad.
Yeah.
And we are not even standing on a base of a melter. We are standing on a air, and we stand on a lies.
When they see you, they like you're talking now, like we are saying this now, they're angry. They don't want to see your face because you're saying the truth. Now, for them to even go to work, fix this country, they don't want to do that, and they don't want you to talk. You can imagine.
Listen, you can fix something that actually have a base. You know, there are structure you have to completely destroy. You will say this structure, okay, for example, if your car involved in an accident, you know the side of the beam of the car, that door and the legs of the car.
Yeah.
Immediately that door is damaged, the insurance will write it off. Nigeria has been due to be written off 30 years ago. 50 years ago. So we've been managing this reconstruction of a vehicle to convey ourselves and be lying to ourselves.
Anybody, like my brother was saying, anybody who is intelligent enough will not come overseas and come and defend Nigeria. You sound foolish. You think they don't know what's going on there?
If you ask them to return now, they are not returning.
They will not. Why not the person go back home? Let him go back home. You are in Europe, you are in America, you are in whatever place you are, and you are embracing Nigeria with the nonsense going on there. Oh my God! I don't even know what to tell them. I don't even know what to say. I get so furious and angry. Human beings.
You know, guys. Even as I round up, I want to bring the two people up. Then they will have.
Yeah, just before we go to the new people, just 1 second.
Thank you.
Just 1 second, host.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, Joseph. Yeah, thank you. Just before we go to the newcomers, I want to make it clear that the awakening that we have embarked upon as those who are intelligent, the awakening we have embarked upon is to demonstrate that we are not as foolish as they may think that we are. This is what we are. This is what we are trying to demonstrate. That they go to the white man or go to the ones that claim that they are educated all over the world, hiding. You know, each time you meet them, it's all about degree for them. We are trying to raise an awareness. It is what we call it. The book that I'm writing is called The Movement of Enlightenment. The enlightenment journey that we have embarked upon is to demonstrate that we are not all foolish. The only setback is just these few people who go around defending the indefensible, because while they do this, they are emboldening the white man. They're emboldening the system of corruption that has repressed all of us for very many years. That is what they do. By going around to launder the image of Nigeria, protecting the image of Nigeria. That is what they do. So we must continue. This is a force that we cannot relent. We cannot allow these few individuals to increase in number. We must continue to debunk their lies. We must continue to confront them with the truth. What we do is exposing Nigeria with the truth. What we speak is the truth. When Kemi said that the police are basically armed, uniformed criminals, it is the truth. She is not lying. We all know. So, but these guys just don't want to hear this thing, because when a white man, a common white person hears this thing, they look at you as a monkey. So where you are coming from, your police actually brutalizes you. So why are you complaining here? Where you come from, your police can actually kidnap you. They can stop you on the road and ask you to press money. And they look into your account and see that there is much money there. They will take you away.
Sorry, sir. They try to justify it. When they were saying that even in the UK, police brutality, America, I say in America, if police is error, the judge will award the family that is being hurt money and the compensation. The police will be fired in America. In some cases, even if the police are not found to be guilty of criminal, they will be guilty of civil case. So it litigate. In Nigeria, you dare not even think of suing your police. Where are you going to sue the police with? Please go ahead, star one, because I'm about to close down this channel tonight. Star one, go ahead if you are there.
Thanks for the opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I just want to make a little bit of contribution. So yeah, thanks. First of all, this is the first step, having this platform that we
Thank
can
you, sir.
speak and air our minds and all of that and say what we want to say. So I'm not going to take much of your time. So first of all, what's the way forward? We've all spoken so much on different platforms and say this and said that. So what is the way forward from here? Like from here right now?
Would you
What's the
like
next
me
thing to
would
do?
you like me to say what's the way forward?
Yes, from here, after this conversation or
Okay.
after all of
After
this.
this conversation we're having today, this kind of conversation has been taking place since 1960. There are
Exactly.
revolutionists that have gone
Exactly.
before us. The problem we have at the moment and the opportunity we have with us is that God have taken us out of that continent. So we are more at liberty to form alliance, ideology, conversation, and rebuke the system that have continually put us where we are. So if we are
Good.
talking about solution, like are we going to be able to solve it tomorrow? No, it's a conversation that I know in due course more people are going to be awakening to the reality
Yes.
that this
Yes.
system of government, this a nation called Nigeria, has been a fraud from the time immemorial. And
We
then we will
agree.
come together and begin to have a solution. I want to give you an example. When you come
Okay.
to Europe, before I will come into this conclusion, it has been there. When you come into Europe, in the UK, United Kingdom, I'm not going to use Europe now. In the United Kingdom, there are 4 segments that make UK. We talk about England, we talk about Scotland, we talk about Northern Ireland, then we talk about Wales. They make United Kingdom. If you go to Wales, they have their parliament, they have their first minister, they speak their language within the Welsh community. If you go to Scotland, they have their parliament, they have their first minister, they speak Scottish. In short, they have a Scottish currency. Are you listening? If you go to Northern Ireland,
Yes, I'm here.
they have their first minister, they have their parliament, and they speak their Northern Ireland language, not English. Okay. Then if you come to
Correct.
England, England is the United England. Then you have the Greater London. Are you listening to me? That
Yes,
unite
sir.
them. So each representative from Scotland, they send representative to Westminster. They call them the MP. Wales send some. They have their own at home. They send the national one to come to the London to come and represent United Kingdom. They send from Northern Ireland. They all come here. They are in the Parliament deliberating. But the most important thing we're taking, everybody have identity, even in the so-called United Kingdom. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
In the case of Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have identity.
Okay.
The first mistake Nigeria did was being one as a nation. Okay, Because even in Europe at the moment, look at all the countries that you are looking at. Latvia is 1.5 million to 2 million. Latvia,
Correct.
they speak one language. Romania, they speak one language. Ukraine, they speak one language. Let me be giving it to you one by one. Oh. Kosovo, they speak one language. All of these countries, why the Austria is 8 million? They are like, you can basically go and chop dinner in Germany and come back into Austria. They divided their country. Everybody stay on their own. They speak their language and they stay there and they are governing their country. The first thing, the biggest mistake, the British people, not a mistake, it was orchestrated, it was strategic, it was planned. The British handle Nigeria in a way like, this is a vehicle, and I'm the one selling this vehicle. I'm the one designing it. I designed this vehicle. The main component of this vehicle is not the body, it's the mechanism. Okay? If I design the mechanism for you to be permanent, I'll be out of business. Do you know that? But if I divide the mechanism for you to be consumable, something you will always need, and you always call me to supply you, but you have the body, the frame is there. You ask for gearbox, you ask for accelerator, you will say, my oil pump is finished. You will ask for it, I will be supplying it. So you keep me in business by holding onto that the case. Nigeria is a case like this, and the British kept us in business. The oil of Nigeria is more beneficiable to the British government than to
us.
Nigeria.
Correct.
The gold we have in the north is more beneficiable to the people that need the gold than it is to Nigeria. So the problem we have is this: whether we like it or not, it can take 100 years, but the conversation needs to stand for the generation to come to learn that Nigeria is a fraud, and the solution is one day we might have to think critically whether we can be one nation or not. In my own humble opinion, it is a capital failure to remain as one nation because we can never be united. We are divided by language, we are divided by culture, we are divided by every norm
religion,
that make the country as one.
All right.
So that is my
Let me answer.
Okay.
Let me answer let me answer my own solution.
No, let him finish because he has a question and I've elaborated on it. Let him talk.
I wasn't done.
Go ahead, sir. Star one, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So, because the leadership of that country is not rotational, it's just between Yoruba, Hausa, you know.
Just imagine that.
We have a lot of intellectuals from different 36 states. We have different ethnic groups, different almost 400 languages. Why is it just two people rotating all the time? So the country is not working, and we all know this. That was why I asked, what is the way forward from here after this conversation? Now, I'm thinking number one, because I'm a solutionist. I believe in solution. Like I don't want to hear the problem. Like, how do we solve it? You know what I'm saying? So from here, I'm thinking that we should have a secret platforms where we can organize and fund a large number of protests, like uninformed protests. We're not going to tell them we are coming. You know, they're not going to see us coming. You know, especially us that are here. We can fund them and organize. We have IT intellectual, we have IT security guys, we have everybody on board here. So we can organize and no one's going to hack into our system, and we organize a perfect large protest across the nation, just like they did in Syria and other countries. That's one of the solutions that I'm preferring. I don't know if it's possible. I know we can work on that if we mean to do that.
It's a noble idea. Something that because when you say protest is actually your voice. Is because a lot of time the protest we are doing today, the result will come tomorrow. And there's too many. Do you know there was a time I'm completely against Mazen and the Canon, but I have to take my time to study his conduct and what he actually believed in. And sometimes we sat down there, we say, okay, it is not possible to achieve what he's asking for. But that act, that step alone is one of the most courageous steps anybody can take.
Correct.
So we have to take a step, and the first conversation is awareness. How do we inform each other? Like, there is nobody that will pass through this platform now, whether you're Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and tell us after hearing what we say now and say Nigeria is working. You could be very biased because you are a chicken and say it's working, leave it the way it is. It is not working.
It's not. We all know that. It's a failed state. No one can deny that. We know
But
it's a failed state.
let me just make it clear. It's 2:30, almost 2:30 p.m. in the
Okay.
UK.
Where you
I
call,
want to, I want to end
where you
this night.
broadcasting from?
Eh?
Where you broadcasting from?
London.
Okay.
So I want to end this evening by saying I want to thank every one of you that contributed. My name is Ben. I'm on YouTube as well. So if you go on this page, you will see our YouTube click as well. What we do is critical thinking, is asking questions. I don't jump into conclusion. I could take 6 hours to explain one topic because I know if I can get two voices that will listen to that, he can convince another voices. A mission of educating our people, changing minds is not an easy one. We will try. We are here. If God give us a platform like this, we have to be united. As I said, nobody is my fan. We fellowship together. I am not a host. I am a co-host with you. So your idea, your intellectual, your understanding is welcome.
Yeah,
We
someone is
disagree.
sorry. Yeah, someone is asking a question. When next are you coming online, or how often do you come
I'll
online?
be online. I have somebody to drop. I may be online tomorrow. I don't have a program because I have a day job, and I don't have a program. When I'm free, I come online. But because of our American audience, I like to come sometime in the middle of the night or between 8 p.m. so that we can fellowship together. What we are doing, our page is not monetized. So that's why we are able to say what we are saying. We are not coming here to shake nyash. We are coming here to talk about real solution, things that make me and you leave Africa. So it's very, very important. So there is not a lot of information you can devour on a public platform, but we are ready to have a conversation with ourselves. Thank you so much for joining. All of my brother that joined Bisco, thank you so much. And for some of you guys that want to join, please change the name you have on TikTok because I know we have fake account. Change the name so that it can be a name somebody can pronounce. It's not necessarily have to be your name. Just have an alias that you can use.
Yes.
So when we're having
My name is Gosife. I'm from Delta. My name is Gosife. That's
thank
my
you so
name.
much.
It's just that my page was struck. I'm in Biafra land.
You have contributed so wonderful. God bless you, and make sure you follow.
That's all right. Thank you.
Send me an EDM. I will reply you again. And thank you so much for joining, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.